about changing locations and shit. Man, into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way, I mean. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You been on my mind, you should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I
Yes, sir, Ski. Yeah, man. And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Henny Moore, reporting live from the liquor store, man. And listen, we ain't even got no guests, man. This is family in the building with us, man. He can walk up there into the refrigerator and get his own drink. We got the homie Big Game James in this mug, man. How you doing today, brother?
What's up, dog? Feeling good. I love the intro, but it looked even better when you seen Big Q doing his little dance. You feel me? After getting
the money dance,
him doing it. You feel me? That's that money dance. He was hitting it hit it like 3 times. So definitely feeling good. Very happy for Q. I think if you have any players that deserve the signing or deserve like the money, I think to me he's one of them. I always loved Quinnen Williams since he came in the league from Alabama when he was wrecking shop. I wanted to get him when he was 2019 when he was kicking our ass that year when we was in New York. So loving him from afar to actually really get him and then to lock him up at a good age, not when he's declining or anything like that. What's up, Angie? Salutes to you. That's a big thing, and we're gonna talk more about it.
Real talk, man. And hey, he ain't lying. We are gonna discuss that at nauseum. We're also going to do a little preview of the Cowboys versus Rams scrimmage tomorrow because that's gonna be important. Listen, that's why landlord's not here. I just got the text from the homie. He just landed. He just touched down, man. So listen, I know he ain't here physically, but y'all support my brother in spirit. Hit that boy Cash App. Y'all should know it. Yes. If you don't, it's Landlord 723. Support the homie while he's out there, man, because he bring it. Listen, Landlord's so real, man. He went out there last year and just threw me a whole interview. He had interview. I forget who he had interview. He had interviewed the player, just threw it to me like, here, cuz. I'm like, man, he a real one, man. So y'all make sure y'all support my brother Landlord, man, while he out there.
Yeah, he's definitely a real one.
I was just finna say, me and you finna go to Frisco, man.
Yep. At the end of the month, 25th and 26th, I'll be there. I told my family, I already hit my cousin up. I'm gonna hit him up again, so I go ahead and be able to stay somewhere where I ain't gotta pay no money. So if you're watching this, cuz you know what it is. You feel me? We ain't try to stay over there for them few days. You feel me? So, see my grandmother, see my family. That's definitely going to be exciting to be able to see my family. I haven't seen them in a few years, so that'll be a good thing. Be able to finally see my dog Henny. We'll be able to see some good Cowboys practice. So that's going to be an exciting thing. And a shout out to, like I said, Land. He's a real one. I remember when I went to the Senior Bowl a few years ago, and when I went out there, I hit him up. I was like, dog, where you live at? And he was like, he told me he's like, it's like 2.5 hours. I was like, I don't care. He's like, come on. So I dipped out there. We kicked it, had a real good time. And ever since then, you know what I'm saying, that's been my dog.
Real talk, man. Also, Big, what is your cash app so I can put it up here?
Oh, it's $BGJ DC4L.
DC4L. No underscores or nothing, right?
Nope.
Cool. All right, all three cash apps is up here. I got Land's, mine, and I got Big. So we all doing some traveling. So if y'all want to support your independent content creators, man, hit them cash apps, dog. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the content, man. We already have alluded to it. Big Q. And really, when you think about this contract, Big, I want you to understand this. The Dallas Cowboys have pretty much made Quinnen Williams a Dallas Cowboy for life. He is now a lifelong Dallas Cowboy because he still had 2 years left on his deal, and then they added 3 years to it, and he already played a season here. So if he plays out the entire contract, he would have been a Dallas Cowboy for 6 years, and he'll be like 33 by the time the contract is over. So you pretty much have gotten the rest of his prime and his ability. So you have made Quinnen Williams a lifelong Dallas Cowboy at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
And hey,
go ahead.
I just want to throw this out there for you. They did not reset the markets, in APY. He got the most money at signing for a defensive tackle. That's big. It's still a record. But he didn't get $40 million. He ain't come in and top Jalen Carter. So kudos to them for both coming to an agreement that were mutually beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, like I said, Q came over, and ever since he's been here, I mean, he's just been a leader, right? Like you look at already this year, he's on the leadership council for the defense. And we are, I talked about that, and I'm sure you talked about as well, how you have the newcomers that are the leaders of the defense, and he's one of the main leaders. And they say a lot of things about Q, and the biggest thing they say about him, and I heard it before when he was at New York, doesn't say a lot, but when he does talk, you hear it. And that's what Shotty kind of let everybody know in the presser whenever he talked about Big Q, and he said he's a man and he's a grown man, and he is. And I think, like I said, he leads by example, and that's what I love about him. He doesn't talk, and when he does talk, it's basically about let's get going. I ain't trying to lose. He's already made it a point to let everybody know I've been in the league 7 years and I've never made the playoffs, and I'm all about winning. It ain't about the money. Now, when the players say it ain't about the money, we know it's about the money. But when they really say, hey, I love the game of football, he's one of them players I believe that if it really wasn't money involved, he would still be playing football. He loves it, like Tyler Booker. And that's what Shotty said. I want guys in here who love football. And he's one of those guys. And I'm just, like I said, and he's a dog. When you get all that we talked about, and then he's a dog, you feel me? And everybody's been saying it, like in the Cowboys ranks, and there's kind of been some whispers to me in the NFL. You feel me, Henny, where they're saying, and I'm saying it myself, everybody's like sleeping on Big Q. Like nobody's talking about him. He's one of the best defensive tackles in the game right now, period, bar none. And it's like nobody's even talking about him like he's even at Dallas. Like, you know what I mean? It's like everybody's talking about everybody, but everybody's like forgot him. So I wonder if he sees that himself, and everything. And I feel like he's going to be poised to have a big year. I feel like he's going to want to prove to everybody I'm worth every penny of what I'm going to show y'all why I'm the anchor and I'm pretty much the centerpiece of this defense. And I'm going to say one last thing about Q right now before I hand it over to you. I don't want to see Q play a lot. Okay, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real. That's the centerpiece of defense. If you want to give him in a few plays in that Rams, bro, I ain't trying to see no injuries, no funny stuff. I'm going to keep it real, dog. He don't got nothing to prove. What does Big Q got to prove? We know he a dog. He an animal. We don't need no injuries from him. You seen that they're going to keep them starters out. If you're going to do that, this man just got paid the big dollars. He's your centerpiece. Please, you don't need to be doing all that crazy practicing no more, not in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at that thought process. Also, to your point on Big Q, he was voted as the best defensive tackle in the National Football League. I think about like the Bleacher Report had a list, and he was the best defensive tackle on their list, right? And then shout out to my brother Jay Tuck, man. He was cold with the graphic. I ain't finna plagiarize him, but I am finna read these stats off here. 41 and a half sacks for his career from the defensive tackle position. 41 and a half. 8 forced fumbles. 343 total tackles. 208 of them holes solo. 15 pass deflections. Also has an interception. So he's been a dominant player since he's been in the league. He's made 4 Pro Bowl selections already. Just for context, Dak has 4. You know what I mean? And Dak been a great quarterback for a long time. Q already got 4 Pro Bowl selections at his position. So the point I'm trying to make is he's very much so undervalued. And when you just think about the stuff that he brings to the table, I know that we did harp on Jadeveon Clowney and what he did last year. Check Jadeveon Clowney's stats before Big Q got here and after he got here. He had like 8 sacks for the season. He got 5.5 of them when Big Q got here. So he is that kind of force multiplier. He does eat up space. You have to double team him. He got pass rushing ability of his own. He's no slouch against the run. He is a complete defensive player. And as you mentioned, he's a grown-ass man and has already acclimated himself to be one of the key leaders of that locker room, man. So it's money well spent.
Yeah.
And listen, I know you see the campaigns and stuff, man. Like I was the one that originally coined Respect One Tech, man. I was sick and tired of them having big sorry motherfuckers out there.
Right.
And really, and shout out to Boss. He had who was he had? I don't know. Was it John Machota? I can't remember. I think it was John Machota. But like he was saying, if you look at any championship team from high school to college to the NFL, he said if you look at their interior, at their defensive interior, their defensive tackle room, I can tell you if they're a legit championship contender. And we was out here trying to compete with Osa and Mozzie Smith, man.
Yeah. And, I told everybody, people would get on me about Mozzie. I try to be lenient on him, but I don't care. I was out on Mozzie when I heard that initial interview when he said, I don't even love football. I just like hitting people. I'm done. I'm going to keep it real. I was done after that. And people were like, oh, it's big, everybody was hitting me up like, oh, they just put the camera in his mic in his face and he ain't know. I don't want to hear that, dog. I don't want to hear nobody tell me that because I could see in the play, I already felt things in the play. And then when I heard it in the voice, then I was like, okay. And then guess what? They shipped him out of there. You know why? Because he said he didn't love football and they knew it. So why are you still going to be here? We want people that love football. That's what Shotty said. This is the kind of people I want here. And Mozzie Smith was not. So now you got the right type of people and you got real players. Osa, he's a good player, but not Kenny Clark. I like Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark's a dog to me. He's a grown-ass man, too. And you look at him, dog, he just looked like he enforcer. He looked like an enforcer. You feel me? And him and Big Q next to each other, that was a better chess piece if you saw him and Osa. So that just made sense. And I like how they did that deal with that. So I'm not, going crazy and bananas with the front office, but I am going to give them their respect and give them their props when I feel like they did something right. You know what I mean? Because I can get on them and say, why ain't they doing this? But I also got to be able to give them their props when I feel like they did something. And this is one of the things that I'm going to give them props on. They didn't let this drag on. We heard in the media, Stephen Jones talking to the agent saying that, where some things are in the works with that. So we heard it, but we know how Dallas is notorious, say things, and they let it drag on, and it's into the season, and next thing you know, he's not getting paid because they already started the season, and you waited till next year. Now all you're going to hear about is Quinnen Williams talk. They ended that talk. They said, you're the centerpiece. We're going to pay you now, and we'll worry about other stuff later. That's what you're supposed to do in the top organizations, in my opinion, and I feel like that's what you did. And you opened up money. Remember I sent that tweet out, Henny, and then you answered it for me, and it came what I had heard well, I actually read in my opinion, looked up myself, and I said 15 to 20 million, as you see right there in 2026, 15.5. I said 15 to 20. What I had heard, Henny hit me back, said, I'm gonna let you know the numbers. Then he tweeted it back to me, boom, right there. And then you see what they get up in 2027, 19 million. So roughly 35 million. So now everybody's talking the GP that could possibly happen. I said, you know what, that's a rental. I don't know if that would be an incentive for it to happen. I told them I don't want GP to go nowhere. They said they might try to go for bigger fish now. I'm still a little skeptical with that. I just still am, but kudos for making me feel a little, maybe you might do it with this signing of the Quinnen Williams.
Yeah, I mean, it at least gives you hope. You know what I'm saying?
Hopium for real.
There's a lot of times, yeah, that's real hopium. Because, there's actually something to be hopeful about, because you made a move, that you're not accustomed to making. But think about it. Even though it was a foregone conclusion that they should sign Quinnen Williams, the Dallas Cowboys have a nasty, habit of letting it draw out. They would have waited until the buzzer next season to get it done and, negotiated through the media. Ain't none of that happened. With 2 years left on his deal, the year right after, they traded for him. They got the extension done in Oxnard. They talked to his agent. They didn't go no press runs. So we don't talk to no agents. I don't even know who this gal is. They ain't say nothing crazy like that. They just went in there and they got it done, and that's a step in the right direction. But to your point about a bigger fish happening, theoretically, because listen, you still gonna have to clear a little bit more cap room. You got about $20 million in total cap space now. It's like 20.5, if I'm not mistaken, because you already had like 5 in open cap space. You would still need another roster move in order to absorb Max Crosby's contract. Either A, the Raiders will have to, do a restructure to lower his cap hit and then trade him, or you will have to cut somebody to absorb his massive contract, and then, you can restructure his deal. So as it stands, like, if you're trading for a pass rusher, you probably got enough room for somebody like Josh Sweat. I think Josh Sweat cap hit is under $20 million this year. Von Miller, of course, ain't gonna make no kind of money if you sign him off the street. He been politicking and campaigning. Listen,
what's wrong with that?
He probably could be a politician.
I mean, but what's wrong with adding that? I see. I mean, I get it.
I don't say anything wrong with it.
I get it. Maybe where from their perspective, he's 37. I don't know where they're looking from their perspective. The Cowboys, maybe they're looking for the bigger fish, like they've been talking about. You just mentioned Josh Sweat. You mentioned Alex Highsmith in previous things. I've heard his name. Kayvon Thibodeau has been a name that's been floated out there in trade talks. I'm not saying the Giants would do something like that, but I'm just throwing out a name of a defensive end because you got your tackle set up, and that's what everybody's been talking about. If you're talking about the linebacker, maybe the Jordan Brooks thing could be alive, because they said, if they were to trade for him, still that could absorb a hit, and you could make that definitely financially feasible if you were to try to do that. I don't think they would do that. I still think Miami's not going to go that route, and I still feel like Crosby is going to be a Raider, at least for now, because I feel like the Raiders are going to want to see what that defense looks like first. They have Quay Walker, they have Nakobe Dean, they have other pieces that they don't have, and now that they have Crosby back, I just feel like they want to see that first, and then if it's not looking like they want, I mean, they have Kirk Cousins and they have, Mendoza over there, so we don't know what's going to happen with that yet, so that's why I feel like they may want to hold on to him a little bit. And just the other players that I mentioned, I don't know if the Cowboys, I haven't heard anything about a Josh Sweat with Dallas. And, usually they kind of talk about it just a teeny bit, and I just haven't really heard it like deep in the circle. So I don't know how deep that would be. I would love it. But would they really go that route to spend that money? I don't know. You know how the Cowboys are, Henny.
Well, I'll say this, and to your point, I did a video on Von Miller this morning. I asked the question, you know how we be saying, man, did Von Miller wake up sorry? That was the video, and it was a film breakdown. Big, let me tell you something. That boy still got it. I know he old, but he cold, man. He old, but he cold. And like I mentioned, man, like he can still capture the edge. He can still bend the corner. He's still a good hand fighter. He's still out there, bitch, pulling out spin moves. Like he hit a spin move and killed somebody. You know what I mean? I saw a 187 on all 22 film. That's how he was out there moving. Now, granted, you know, and that's what I like about somebody of his ilk. Like when you start falling off, you already so far up here, you still got something left even when you're declining. Like he was the best hands down defensive player in the National Football League for years. And people forget about that. They forget that he was Michael Parsons and Max Crosby and all these other guys before them. That's why he got the accolades, defensive player of the year. He's gonna be a future Hall of Famer, 2-time Super Bowl champion. So I would be crazy if I said I didn't want him on my team, you know, but I am, you know, all for going over the top. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, there's no rule to say the Dallas Cowboys can't do both things, because Von ain't gonna want that much money no damn way. He would love to play for Dallas. He's from the Dallas area. You know, he grew up a Dallas Cowboys fan. He been sending y'all signals, a little hard eyes. You know, back in school, you used to write the note, you like me, yes or no. He done passed messages on. You gotta circle yes. All you gotta do is circle yes.
I mean, I just feel like it makes sense, but you know, like I said, those are the guys that coach in the NFL. I'm sitting there watching them. It just makes sense to me. I watched the Washington Commanders tape. My guy, George Carmi, who does the Best of Enemies with us, shout out to the Best of Enemies. He's a Washington Commander guy. So, you know, it was funny when he told me, he was like, leave Von Miller alone. And then I'm like, okay, I looked at him and, you know, he said a few things and I looked at it, right? But he also was saying stuff about GP too. And I'm like, I ain't listening to you because I told you about GP. But a lot of moves that Von Miller was getting in those games, it wasn't the initial first move. A lot of the sacks that he got were second and third, kind of maybe tries. It wasn't off the initial move. But we were talking about if the play is good in the secondary, if you have good secondary play, that second move helps you come back and get the strip sack from behind. The quarterback doesn't see you because you didn't get the initial hit. Then you come back because Von Miller is so good at, if he doesn't get that first one, he gets you on that second one and he's going for the strip sack. That's what he knows how to do. So he's going after that ball and getting fumbles. He is a veteran. You said it. He's from the Dallas area. Yeah, he's 37, but are we expecting him to do a lot of reps? Is he supposed to get a lot of snaps? No, he didn't get a lot of snaps in Washington. 35% of the snaps in with the Commanders. Obviously, they want to look at Ezeraku. Obviously, they're feeling good about Malachi Lawrence, right? But I'm going to say this. I haven't seen Malachi Lawrence dropping coverage. Now, I ain't saying Von Miller since he's 37, but he's played in the 3-4 majority of his career. He knows how to do that. He's coming in the system where he already kind of is familiar with what is going on. So he's going to hit the ground running. And he has Super Bowl experience. He has playoff experience. He loves this and he wants this. You're not going to soak that up and let the defense eat that up. He's going to be playing with Quinnen Williams. You don't think that's going to be better with a Von Miller? Even at 37, he's playing with Q-Dog and Kenny Clark, and then Rashawn Gary is stepping his game up. I feel like that now you don't take the eye strictly on Gary if you're on the third down play and you got Von Miller rushing you. Feel what I'm saying? I just feel like that just works for me. I get it. We want the bigger guy, the younger guy. I totally get it, and I'm for that. But if that doesn't happen, they really got to look into that, because you're trying to get to where you want. You're trying to make this defense from bad to elite. It can happen. Like I said, Henny, I showed the stats from 2020 to 2021. 29 points a game. Dallas gave up under Mike Nolan, went down to 21 under Dan Quinn. It was 30 with Eberflus. I believe it can happen under Parker, but you got to get, to me, another guy to kind of just help that little pass rush, because you got some ingredients.
I agree. And real quick, kudos to my brother Keystone Cowboy in the building with the $4.99. And remember, if you send $2 more, you will get a raffle entry for that Cowboys versus 49ers ticket, man. You know, I'm trying to send y'all out there in style. So but salute to my brother. He said we signed old man Peters, and he was good for us too. Why not Von? I don't want to hear age. That's nonsense. Sign his ass ASAP. Salute to my country cousin and my cousin. That's trill as hell right there, man. But he's not lying though. You signed plenty of older players, and they were productive for you. You know what I mean? Like Peters held it down over there for you at the tackle spot when he was here. We still got a lot of youth out of Tyron Smith, you know, into the back half of his career. Jason Witten came back and was still pretty productive for you as a lead tight end. Right, we've seen plenty of older players.
Trent Williams right now.
For this team.
Trent Williams still a dog. He's 38.
He damn near 40.
Trent Williams still a dog.
Yeah.
You feel me? There's certain players.
One of the best in the business.
Yeah, when there's certain players. Not everybody. I mean, Tom Brady played till what? 46 years old, damn near. Drew Brees was in it for there's certain players there's just certain players that understand the game, understand how to take care of their bodies, and they're just that type of athlete where they can continue to play. And as you see, Von Miller, even when they was like 32 and 33, and they're like, Von Miller starting to meet the end. You saw what he did. He came in, helped the Rams win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? He comes in, helps Buffalo. You know what I mean? He comes in, helps teams. He comes in and makes the defense better. I don't care what you say. He's going to help make the defense better, and you don't have to give him a crazy amount of snaps. I don't think Von Miller's going to be out there chirping, you know, rocking the boat on the team, begging for snaps. I feel like he's going to be a team player. That's what what guy would beg like that and then come in and be a distraction? That wouldn't make sense to me.
Right. And just another one. T.Y. Hilton came in here, helped you win a football game. What was it, like a 40-yard catch on 3rd and 30?
Yeah.
50, something crazy like that.
And when he did the big move, it was like 3rd and 31, and Dak threw it and got for 32 yards. That was crazy.
Yeah, man. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can get something out of the older players, man. Listen, I'm not ageist, man. If you can do the job, I want you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta watch the film on folks. If the film say they can still play, I want them. And the film say the boy can still play.
Man, make that move.
Also, just to throw this out there, you know, in regards to, you know, we were talking about Quinnen earlier, and it really made me think about how blessed we are at the defensive tackles position right now. Because think about it, Otito would have been a starter for you before. Like, he is like, think about it. Like, I think he's like equivalent to like like he probably just as good as Jonathan Hankins, if not better, right? Because we got Hankins like at the back of his career. So Otito is your 3rd defensive tackle, and he would have been good enough to have started for you with some of the other football teams. And he's your 3rd defensive tackle behind Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. I just, you know, sit here and just be counting my blessings sometimes, Big. I'm sorry.
I like Bullard too. I like Bullard too. Bullard's a solid player, and I love Jay Toia. I pray that they do not cut him. If they cut him, he gonna be gone. They'll make when we had I call him the white gorilla. What was his name? Your boy.
John Ridgeway.
John Ridgeway.
Yeah,
so he was the white gorilla. So, you know, I was mad that they cut him. And I love this dude. He a Togan. You can't cut no Samoan, and you can't cut a Togan, dog. You can't do it. They just different. And he light on his feet. Have you seen him, bro? He light on his feet. He like 350 pounds. You need that girth for that 3-4. You can't play around and cut him, because them teams is watching and they waiting for you to get rid of him, and they gonna take him, they gonna scoop him up. The Cowboys better not make no mistake and let him go. I think this is his 2nd year. He's going to grow into be a solid player. You need to keep him on the roster.
I agree. Definitely agree with that. Now, Big, we're not gonna spend too much time talking about how incredible and amazing brother Quinnen Williams is, but he is. But let's talk about some matchups, you know, for tomorrow's scrimmage. Some things that we want to look at. And I'm going to tell you the biggest one that I'm prepared for to watch, because we know it's a contract year for this particular player, and we know this is going to be one of the best players he goes up against, you know, and we're going to play him in the regular season too. I want to see the matchup between brother Tyler Guyton and Aaron Donald. Not Aaron Donald, I'm sorry, Myles Garrett. They got so many dope players supposed to be coming out of retirement and shit. Just got me bamboozled. But yeah, this one matchup I'm really looking forward to. Not to say that it's a make or break thing for Tyler Guyton, who's having a great camp at this point, but it is like a little litmus test. You know, if you can hold your own against Myles Garrett, you can hold your own against anybody.
Yeah, I mean, he played against him his rookie year. He started out against him when he was with the Browns. Myles Garrett didn't kill him that game, so it's not like he hasn't seen something like that. But yes, it's a good test for him. People have been saying, Guyton's been having a good camp. We saw it last year. He was having a good camp last year until the injury. He had the little sore elbow. I was like, the antennas came up when I heard about seeing that sore in the elbow. But yeah, it's time to show, man. I mean, it's year 3. There's really no more fooling around, because if this is the year you do not do it, I'm in my head, you move on. You're not going to try to miraculously do it now, year 4, whatever. This is the critical year. You got the talent, you have the ability. You got to put it together, and this is going to help. These inter squad practices and scrimmages are for players like him. In my opinion, the guys like the Dak Prescott, like the George Pickens. Yeah, that's cool if they go against somebody, but I don't need to really see them go against, because I already know what they're going to do. I know they'll do that in a real game, but I don't know what Tyler Guyton going to do. Right? I don't know what some of these young guys. I don't know what Savon Revel going to do yet. I don't know what Maris Leofau going to do on the outside. I want to see a D Winters. Those are the guys that really I want to see incorporated. And Tyler Guyton, yeah, the eyes are on you. And even though it's inter squad, I guarantee you Myles Garrett ain't going to be playing around if he's in front of you. And we saw what the Rams did last year, especially your boy that they traded, Jared Verse. He was an animal last year, and everybody was talking about how he was going to have a breakout season just by that damn scrimmage against the damn Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. So yeah, and I do agree with you, man. Like, you would love for these folks to get some legitimate work, and I think I do think it's important for our starters, because we know they're going to bubble wrap them for the preseason. Yeah. So while they ain't got to go and prove that
good reps,
I do want them to have some good reps. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the closest to live action that Dak and them going to get to until week 1. And they're going to be on the road in New York. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But, in regards just to like some of these other matchups, and I don't got a graphic for it. Mm-hmm. I would love for Malachi Lawrence to go out here, be matched up against some actual tackles that don't give a damn about him, and see what he does. You know what I'm saying? That's really for all my young trench players. LT Overton, Malachi Lawrence, bar him if he's able to go. I know he's been nursing the groin, so I don't know if he'll be able to play. But
I kind of want him to sit, even though I want him to play so bad. You need him for the regular season, maybe some preseason games too. I want to see him in a preseason game, and I mean, you got to rest. That's a groin, Henny. You know what's up with a groin, dog. Them groins, they act funny. If you don't, you can't do no surgery on them. They like a hammy. It don't matter what you do to it. You got to rest it. And if you got a groin, it's a nagging injury. All you got to do is make one move the wrong way, and it becomes a 3, 4, 5 a month injury. So the thing is rest. So in my opinion, if they feel like it's anything that could probably aggravate it, and as much as I hate it, I want to see him play, sit him out, because you're going to need him for the regular season for real. You can't have no nagging injury with him.
That's so true. And listen, to your point, they are very thin at linebacker at this point. They already done moved Morris out of the linebacking room altogether. They done moved that boy to edge. D Winters, while I think he's a good linebacker, he's not a natural green dot. You talk about Overshown, he's not a natural green dot, and we know that his body is made of paper mache. He's missed 32 games. In 3 years, he's missed 32 games, man. That's over 10 games a season. He is just pencil it in, he's gonna miss at least 10. You know what I'm saying? That's how he rocking. So you got a lot of question marks at linebacker, dog. Like, if anything was to happen to Barham long term, and they don't go to a external option of going and bringing somebody in off the streets or trade for somebody, who's going to be your green dot? It's obvious that he's the one that's leading the way right now.
Well, I mean, you heard about he said anybody could be the green dot, Henny. So maybe that's where the safety may come in. Maybe a Jalen Thompson. I don't know if a Caleb Downs. I don't know if those guys would qualify, but Christian Parker did say the green dot is available for everybody. So I could feel like, if they don't feel like it's equipped for the linebackers, then maybe one of the safeties can handle those responsibilities and those duties, getting everybody where they need to be. But I agree with you. I think we all been talking about with Overshown. They insist that, he's big enough and can play there. I've seen other players do it, but once again, I don't care. This is PTSD with Sean Lee with me. I'm gonna keep on saying that every time I see him do anything, and he gets any kind of trash and he gets up slow or anything, I'm already thinking you're in the middle of the trash, dog. You're in the middle. You're in all of it. All the somebody. What happened with the injury last time? I wasn't in the middle trying to make a play, and the lineman fell on him, and he got the leg caught, and bam, what happened? And I know it can happen anywhere, but I feel like it's less susceptible when you're on the outside and you're making plays that way. And you can use more of your sideline ability. Maybe you're cornered in one side. Maybe they like because he can do a lot of things. But that injury just scares me, Henny. I just don't feel comfortable with it. And I just feel like, Leofau had a good practice a few days ago. And, he's been really playing good on that outside. But, get him some inside snaps, too. And let's see how Leofau does. Because I guarantee you, he'll play that middle good, too. I told you, Leofau reminds me of like a young Eric Kendricks. I mean, he got to learn from him. He reminds me of him. And Eric Kendricks was like 100 tackle guy year in and year out. I feel like that's what Maris Leofau could be if he was put in the middle mainly.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a natural at it, man. They raved about his intelligence. They raved about his versatility. Because a lot of folks forget that Mara's got a safety background. You know what I mean? So I feel like he gives you some coverage ability from that linebacker spot if you left him out there. He's highly intelligent. And he really just finds a way to be around the ball. Like, even if you talk about Kemp, he had a nice little punch out to force a fumble on a Benaconda, during like the team's drills and stuff.
That's what he does.
Yeah, he gets around the football and he makes plays. But the issue I have is this. And I don't like that they weren't forthcoming, because yes, he had a good camp, making plays, but he hasn't made plays at outside linebacker. They've been motioning him around, so he'll start as outside linebacker. No, I'm talking about Morris. I'm talking about Morris. Like, they'll start him at outside linebacker, and then they'll motion him inside, and he'll fill in there. But go back and look. You ain't heard one word about Morris getting no sack. You ain't said they ain't said one word about him setting the edge well. None of the actual edge stuff he's done well up to this point. Like, he made plays doing the regular linebacker stuff, but I know he can do that. Y'all told me he ain't no linebacker this year. So if I'm judging him by the edge shit, like, he gonna have to learn Canadian. What do they speak in Canada? Because he ain't gonna be in the league. They hold him like this.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know him. There's a player that I'm still wondering about. That to me is Ezaraku. I want to know. I need to know about him. People are saying he's having a good camp. I've seen some plays. I've seen him sit the edge a few times. But I need to see something from him this year. This needs to be a big leap for him. If this defense is supposed to be good, he's got to have a major leap, in my opinion, Henny. He's got to be a key player in this defense, especially at that linebacker position. He's got to make plays, whether it's making plays in the backfield, running back, strip sack, fumble, something. I need to see him active. I need to see, when you drafted him in the second round and you were talking about having a first round grade on him, I need to see that from him this year. I'd love to see it tomorrow. That's a player I'm going to be keying on for real, Henny, is Donovan Ezaraku. My eye has been on him because I guess I'm wondering. I'm not saying he's not, but I am wondering. So I need to see it in some games.
I agree with you. And, that's how I feel about Gary, too. Like, I like what Gary has done so far during camp. And, I was a big disbeliever in Rashawn Gary when we got him.
I've seen your tweets.
What I'm saying? I wasn't
been giving him some
amused by that shit. Yeah, he's done well. You know what I'm saying?
I need to
He's
see it
done
though
well
tomorrow. I need to see it tomorrow.
I do too. You know what I mean? Because we need him. You know, like it doesn't matter if you want them. At this point, you need them. At this point, they gonna have to show up and do something real quick, man. Hold on, let me get the super chat from the homie JR, man. He came through showing big boy love with the 499. Salute,
499, holla.
Yes, indeed. He said, "Damn deal, fellas. Saw a couple reps from highlights last week where Maris rotated to middle and Overshow ended up rushing off the edge on the play. Yes, and that's when Maris be making his plays. When they do those rotations and he ends up where he naturally supposed to be at, that's when he's being productive. That's when he looks like an NFL player. But I just want y'all to think about regular physics, man. Morris is listed at 235 pounds or something like that, right? Tyler Guyton is listed at 325. Do you think he is supposed to win that matchup? And just for context, we said that Micah Parsons was an undersized outside linebacker, edge rusher, and he is 250 pounds. You mean to tell me Morris is 15 pounds lighter than Micah? When we were talking about Micah being too light in the ass, and we expect him to do something with this big behemoth 6'7" motherfucker right here? That's all I'm saying. Y'all got that man set up for failure. It don't make sense.
I mean, if you went to the 3-4, one of the biggest things with the 3-4, you have to have big linebackers. Is that correct? You got to have big linebackers, and that's why they picked up Jayshawn Barham. He fits the mold of what you want at the 3-4 linebacker as far as the size, the physicality, and the speed, and what he can really do. That's what they're trying to model. I think that's why they're going to continue drafting. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, guys be playing for they Cowboy lives this year, because I feel like there could be some changes in the mix, because I don't feel like Christian Parker, this is what he's dealt with, right? He drafted some people this year. We see the model in Barham, in my opinion. You're going to start seeing that model in the draft from here on out, Henny, with the bigger linebackers, because you just said it. Maris is undersized. To me, Overshown is oversized, even though his legs is big as shit. I seen his legs. His legs big as hell. But I still feel like his legs he do not skip leg day. But I feel like he's still maybe a little undersized. When you see D Winters ain't big. You feel me? D Winters real, like, kind of shortish, you know. And then who else they got out there? Malachi Lawrence would say, you see how they drafted him. Barham, those are the guys that kind of more fit their mold of what they want. They're kind of dealing with the Maris and the Overshowns, but I feel like they end up going to, you know, I don't know if they're going to get the contracts. We're going to see, huh?
And listen, I promise you we're going to talk about the folks on this graphic, but I do just want to ask you. I may have already asked you before, but I just slept since then. What humanly possible could Overshown do to deserve a contract this year? Like, to deserve one after missing that much time.
He'd have to have a 150 tackle season. He'd have to have 7-8 sacks, pass breakups, tackle for loss. I mean, he got to have a crazy year for me. If I was an owner, because of that injury history, and you keep getting hurt, and you know, last year it wasn't that good of a year, we can say, okay, it was Eberflus, maybe the system, but you got to have one of those phenomenal type years for to consider a contract due to that injury history. That injury history is too scary, and you cannot get hurt. You got to play all 17 games, all 17 of them. That's the only way. You get hurt anytime you miss 2-3 games. Nope. Not for me.
I feel it. Yeah,
I got a quick donation. I don't know if I can. I don't know if you can show it. Since I don't know if you can show it. I got a donation from J619 with the 499. Holla. He said, "Damn deal, BGJ. Long time fan, bruh. Keep grinding, G." There it is. Appreciate you, dog. Hey ho. 499. Holla. We like the donations.
Yes, indeed. Salute. Missed 2 games, maybe 6 sacks, 4 tackle for loss. Good showcase of speed to show that even if he ain't sacking He first up. Listen. And this the thing, because I'm conflicted. Because I like Overshown the person. I just can't trust this man. He's untrustworthy.
I can't trust it either.
You know what I mean?
I can't trust it either. And that's why listen, I feel like even them,
even in this scenario,
even the front office, do you think they really trust it?
They can't. They be a lie. They told you they did.
I don't think they trust it.
Like he would have to. And listen, like if you win a Super Bowl and you just drunk and you decide to go in there and give him a contract because you just high off life or some shit, I'll live with that. You know what I'm saying? He done helped you win a championship. You high. You done ate an edible. You know, took you about 2 or 3 shots there. You ain't young no more, so you out there tweaking. If some shit like that happen, that's cool, man. You know, that's fine. But if we just go out here and you just want to give him a contract and we regular Dallas Cowboys, we done got bounced and shit, there's absolutely no reason to give this man no money, man. He's not reliable from a physical standpoint. It's not. You don't necessarily know he even really a scheme fit. He was just here. Like this coach staff did not draft the Marvin Overshown.
That's what I said. And like I said, Henny, look at Malachi Lawrence and look at Jayshon Barham. They're two, to me, totally different players from Overshown. They're the bigger type linebackers. I want to see how Malachi Lawrence, because I haven't really seen him drop in coverage. You know, if he's rushing off the edge and has to drop, because I've seen him drop in practice a couple times. He ain't look good to me. He backed up a little wobbly. I was like, oh boy, hope he just going after that passer, because buddy, if he got to cover in space, he might have some problems. Because I remember when Greg Ellis was worried. I remember his story. I remember when I actually had him on a show years ago, and he was talking about that transition to that 3-4, how he was scared for life. Because you're on that island out there, and if you ain't really did it like that, hey, you got them running backs coming at you, dog, and it's gonna get a little scary out there when they can do that herky-jerky on you. So I like the model of the size, but it's remain to see how they'll be in coverage. But the good thing for Barham, you see how he was the off-ball linebacker already ahead of time, and he had pass rushing ability. Like I said, Henny, I think Barham is the model of what they want. You know what I'm saying? A guy who's played off-ball linebacker and a guy who transitioned played edge, and now we have a guy who's multiple, who could play multiple positions for us, and he has the size and the physicality to play the scheme that we want. Just like you said, Overshown wasn't picked by this staff. Maris Leofau wasn't picked by this staff. So it remains to see if they're going to be the guys that are going to get the deals later on with the Cowboys, knowing that really they're not the fit. Just like you said, they may not be the scheme fit, and that's why the Cowboys say, hey, you know what, go ahead and try free agency. We're kind of good.
Real quick, salute to the homie Swab with the $7 super chat, and that did get you a raffle entry. So you got another entry for that Cowboy versus 49ers ticket, man. So salute. He said, if the Cowboys release Overshown next offseason, would they get any compensation for him? No. If he walked and then he signed somewhere else and was productive, you would get a comp pick. It'd be the same thing with like George Pickens. George Pickens walked, signed, and was productive for a different team. He would get like a 3rd round pick. When Christian Parker, gets his head coaching job, you'll get like a 1st round pick because he's a brother of color as your comp pick. So, so comp picks are dope sometimes, but I don't necessarily know if you're going to get a good comp pick, because Overshown going to have to, stay healthy, and somebody's going to have to want him. You know what I mean? It's hard to want somebody don't be around.
Sam Williams got all the ability in the world. Nobody wanted him.
No, not at all. He came back for
he wasn't hurt like that. He got a lot of ability. We forgot about Sam Williams. I ain't trying to even hype no Sam Williams. That hype train went for me. I said some things when he came out the draft, how he may be a one-trick pony, and he just hasn't kind of unlocked it. But I don't know. He could be a sneaky guy. I'm just saying, Henny. Well, he ain't nobody even talk about him. You know what I mean? He could be a sneaky guy. You never know. Let's see how he plays.
I feel like Sam, he does have ability, but this is the thing about the NFL. There's a ton of people that are athletic. There's a ton of guys that got athleticism. There's a ton of guys with long arms, jump high. Like, these are the best of the best in the world. You know what I mean? So there's plenty of guys with athletic ability, but you got to put it together. Yeah, you got to practice right. You got to train right. You got to eat right. You got to get your mental health in order. You got to, maybe talk to a sports psychiatrist. You got to be in the right system in the right situation, right? Because at the end of the day, think about it. If Jalen Hurts went over with Mike McCarthy and they asked his ass to throw the ball 40 times, he would not be no Super Bowl champion. It just you got to be somewhere that plays to your skill sets. And a lot of shit got to go right. Now, I did think, to your point, Gregory, Sam was coming off of that ACL. He was poised to, that was going to be the year that.
That's what we were all talking about. That was going to be the year where he was going to break out, and it didn't happen. So that's why I kind of just said,
Yeah, tore his ACL, came back, wasn't the same player. The only thing you can hope is that he's healthier now.
Yeah, right.
And that
another year removed.
And that he can get back on track. Another year removed from the injury. But in a small sample size, he got like 4 sacks, each year. He barely played. He played like 100 snaps, ended up with like 4 sacks, 4.5 sacks, made some plays on special teams. So he was just a fuck up, though. He did have a little bit of Randy Gregory to his game in the wrong. You know what I mean? Like he would do
silly things at the wrong time. Just don't make sense. A little off the field. Just seemed like to me Sam reckless. I mean? I don't know what it is right now. I can't say what it is right now, but it just seemed like Sam was kind of reckless, and that's why he really couldn't really get on the field like he wanted, because just like the practice habits, just you're a little too reckless out there. You're not being, like you just said, all those things. I don't feel like maybe he was doing all those things, but now it's like this. You're on a 1-year deal. Nobody really wanted you, or I didn't see the offers, or you would have went somewhere else, I feel. So if you don't really do it this year, dog, ain't too many teams going to take a chance on you, because you just mentioned there's a lot of players that can already do what you do. They're going to need somebody who can really help the team. There's a lot of athletes, but can you help this team? So I feel like this is a year, hopefully, because this is a 1-year deal, that maybe he does some things that nobody even thinks about, because ain't nobody even talking about him. That's my hope for Sam Williams this year.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, because and look, he could have a good year. Like, he having a good camp, and I mean, it's not really surprising that he's having a better camp than Malachi, but of course, this is year 5 for Sam Williams. He's supposed to, but I gotta see it translate. That's the same thing with everybody else. Just do it in an actual football game. Get me some sacks, get me some tackles for loss, make some plays, and we can move on from that. Right? Real quick though, I did want to talk about this graphic before we got out of here. It is almost at the hour mark. I'm gonna let you enjoy your life. You know what I mean? So our cornerbacks, the cornerback room against their wide receiving room, because that is a big question mark. Siobhan Revel, he's looked better, but I'll be alive. I told you I wasn't concerned, because he looks very handsy. He looked. I said
very grabby.
He looked like a walking penalty. He looked like a walking penalty. We do, and I throw it out there. We do not get the same whistle as everybody else. I don't care that they let Quinnen Mitchell beat the shit out of wide receivers up and down the field.
It's not gonna happen with Dallas.
It's not gonna happen. So he gonna have to clean that up. I like the physicality, but at the same time, like,
you gotta start trusting yourself.
They're gonna call it. Yeah.
You gotta start trusting yourself. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say this, Kobe Durant. You look great in practice, but this same football team did not want you no more. This same football team said we can get better, and they brought in 2 cornerbacks. They brought in 2 new cornerbacks. They brought in both Jalen Watson and Trey McDuffie to replace you. They didn't think you were good enough to be cornerback 1 on a Super Bowl caliber football team. You're gonna have to go out here and show me that you can hang with Puka and Devontae. You got to show me. You gonna have to strap them up just off a general principle, nigga. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I totally feel with you on that. I think, but I'm gonna use it as they can use this as the motivation, because Kobe Durant has already talked about, I played against those guys for 4 years, so I'm excited to go against them. So this could be motivation for him because of the things you just said. They just let you go, and they picked up 2 guys and said, well, we can move on from you because we can upgrade and get better. if I was a player, I would take that as a little bit of a diss, even if I signed with another team. And if I definitely seen you in the regular season or in the inter-squad scrimmage, I'm going to take that personal. He already said he's excited to do it, so maybe he takes it personal. He's already having a damn good camp. So I played against you guys in practice. Now I'm going to show you what I'm about. So maybe that's some good motivation for him. Savon Revel, I totally agree with you. I like the talent. I've been like the talent when it came out of East Carolina. Shout out to them East Carolina boys. My dog Julius Wood as well. But I've been very excited about him because of his size, his speed. You saw ability in college. You just want to see if that can transition to the NFL level. And, I think it's just about him just really trusting himself, trusting his ability. I think, he said he's healthy. The knee is good, things of that nature. But I feel like he's still not trusting everything because he's just 1 year removed. We just mentioned Sam Williams, right? Well, he was playing on that knee, had the huge knee brace that was restricting. So I don't know if it's still kind of in his head a reason if that receiver gets past you just a little bit, he's automatically grabbing because he doesn't trust that speed that he was showing when he had in college, right? So I feel like that might be it. So I think maybe Christian Parker and them keep on talking to him to trust your ability. And we love the physicality, but like you said, you're gonna get hella penalties, dog. They're going to be calling on you all the time. And boy, them Cowboy fans going to light your ass up. And they're going to be like, boo, man, Rebel trash. Boo, boy, they're going to be all up on you.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, you shouldn't have never picked him. See, you're picking them injured players. Look at him. He ain't even. I'm trying to tell you, it's coming, Rebel. So please, dog, I need you to do really good because these Cowboy fans going to be unrelenting on you. You know what I mean? So a lot of pressure, but let's hope this is what they need, right? This is the stuff they need before the regular season, and I'm all for it. Also, I want to see Josh Butler. I've always liked Josh Butler, Henny. He's a player that was a sneaky player for me. He came off from the ACL injury as well. But I really liked him. I liked his aggressiveness. I think he's he's always there, gets a lot of good pass breakups. He's a sneaky player for me. Also, Kalen Carson has to show improve. You've been talking about this secondary. He had the seatbelt acronym for him, and he had one good game, and then he was daggone missing the MIA. One seatbelt, he was daggone torn belt. So I don't know what happened. Somebody cut that belt. So hopefully we can see him step up here. So this is what they need. Caleb Downs. We're talking about him, the safety position. I want to see my dog Julius Wood. We want to see those guys compete. And we saw what they did to Dallas last year, Henny. Man, fucking Devontae Adams, boy, they was having a field day catching the balls in the end zone. So the Cowboys got to take it personal. And maybe that's the reason why Shotty stopped that practice and he said, motherfucker, we going to get our ass kicked again if we looking like this. And what happened? Ended up being one of the better practices, one of the best practices they've had since they've had training camp. So I like Shotty as a motivator. I think he's going to have these guys prepared because he's going to take it personal. Christian Parker definitely is going to, I feel like, going to have prepared because this is his first go around. He don't want to look embarrassing. So those are good motivations for the team. I feel like those will be things that will push the Cowboys, and hopefully it pushes them to play good football tomorrow.
I agree. And Jay Recruiter, you are my dog. And listen, it may be like that in the Dallas Cowboys' mind, but the real question I'm gonna ask you is, should it? Because he said Durant is not the number one, Bland is one, and Rebel is two. So let me ask you a question. Outside of them just being draft picks and being here first, what have they done to earn that? Because if you watch the film from last year, Kobe Durant was better. If you ask anybody who's been watching the camp, Kobe Durant has been the most consistent cornerback throughout the course of training camp. So it was already better last year, and he's having a better camp. So why should Deron Bland and Rebel be 1 and 2 automatically? Right? Answer that question for me. I just need to know. Nothing against you, because you might be right. But we're just having a conversation about why is that, if that's the case.
No, that should not be the case at all. And I don't think that's the case. That's not the case right now in the lineup. It's Kobe Durant's cornerback number one, and Bland is getting it by default, in my opinion, because Revel is still kind of finding his way, and Bland is the guy that just got paid the big money. So that salary is going to push you out there. That's what I feel like is happening to me, Henny. that salary is pushing him out there because you want top, you not one of the top paid, but you up there, you making money, so that's going to automatically push you out there. And I'm sorry, I need to see Bland. I'm a little suspect on him. I loved what he did. When he came in the league, nobody thought about him. Came in like the quiet storm. He's maybe the quiet storm as a player. Nobody says he really talks a lot. So, but man, I need to see you do some work tomorrow, Bland, because we've seen it, man. It been treacherous, Henny, against some Bland. It been treacherous. And one thing we cannot see tomorrow is some crazy stuff where Bland getting shook up really bad. Bruh, we cannot see that tomorrow, Henny. Please, can we not have that kind of highlight from DaRon Bland? That's going to get everybody talking.
I pray it doesn't happen like that, man. But listen, that's up to Bland. If you want to go out there and be a break dancer instead of a football player, that's up to him. Because he was pop blocking and dropping it in a lot of games last year. He was pussy popping in the Arizona Cardinals game. He was twerking in the Lions game. So I need him to get his shit together. And stop embarrassing himself on national television. But
sure.
Hey, man, it is back to Revolution shutdown. Listen, Jay Recruiter, none of that has actually happened. Bland has not been a good corner at all in 2 years, and Rebel ain't never shut anything down. Rebel gave up as many yards. Yeah, Rebel gave up a lot of shit last year, and he been still giving up shit and holding during the camp. So
there's no way that you can go
y'all
into
talking like
camp.
Steven,
bro. There's no
y'all talking
way.
about Stephen Jones instead of talking about Durant and Small. Durant is still better. That's not a question. He's still
it don't
better.
matter if he's
There's
small.
not a
Jordan Lewis is small.
He ain't better.
Jordan Lewis is small, but we always thought he was one of the better corners on our team. The height don't have nothing to do with the play. That's the misconception, because if you ask a lot of receivers, they don't like dealing with those corners that are about a 5'11", real stocky, got good speed. They don't like dealing with those type of cornerbacks because they can be physical, they can get up underneath you, and they can really bother you. That's why they don't like dealing with them type of corners. But for real, if you tell me that Dallas Cowboys are starting DaRon Bland and Savon Revel week 1, I'm not feeling good. You better start damn Kobe Durant. That's going to only make me feel a little bit better. No way in hell do I want to see DaRon Bland and Savon Revel start right now. Especially the way Kobe Durant has been playing. He's already got like 2 interceptions already in camp, and he's been playing really solid football. He played solid football with the Rams. He had big interceptions. Yes, he gave up some plays. I'll be the first to admit, but he's definitely made some big-time plays in big-time moments. That's what you want. Those are the type of players you want right now. And those are the type of players you want starting for you, because that's the type of experience you want when you're starting week 1. I don't know if Rebel's ready for that, and it's okay to still bring him along slowly, because he is your future investment. No need to force him out to play. Bring him along slowly and let him be great.
Yeah, and this ain't saying that Rebel ain't got no ability, but if we're talking about, and this is what Shotty said, he said it's competition every day. Why are we giving people jobs that ain't earned it? Every time we talk about Rebel, we gotta talk about some shit that we ain't seen in an actual NFL game yet. He ain't shut down not nan soul at this point of his career. When we talk about DaRon Bland, we gotta talk about some shit from 3 years ago. He ain't been good in any aspect of anything, in a good minute. That's what I'm saying. Like, Kobe Durant is good right now and is having a good camp right now. If we're just giving jobs away, nothing has changed, and we're going to keep losing football games. And I'm going to answer this question from the homie JR before we get out of here. He might have missed it earlier. He said, did Q Williams deal open up cap room? Yes, it's going to open up an estimated 15.5 this year and another estimated 19.2 next year. So shout out to Patrick No-C Walker, roughly $35 million back in salary cap for the Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Now, my brother, do you got anything you want to add before we escape up out of here, though?
Nah, just ready for tomorrow. This is what I've been ready for. I retweeted Jay Tux when he said, man, I'm training camped out, dog. I'm ready for this damn Rams. I'm there ready for the Rams and the Saints in these preseason games. That's where I'm at now. I'm training camped out. I know you need it. I know these young players need it. I know you need it for the reps to, you guys be in unison, one unit. I get it. I love all that. But damn it, I'm ready for this tomorrow because I want to see these players. We talked about Jaden Blue, Phil Maffa as well. We definitely need to see something from them. That offensive line be able to open some holes for them. I don't care if you can't tackle. We need to, because Quinnen Williams was running all over Dallas last year. I don't care if you couldn't tackle him. We saw the holes being open in those games. So we need to see some the running room for these Dallas Cowboys. We talk about the big three in that middle with Tyler Smith, Tyler Booker, and Cooper Beebe. They need to show improve tomorrow, even if it's a scrimmage, because I don't know about you, Henny, but when I used to coach, scrimmages meant a lot to us, and you could control them. But there was times, Henny, where we left scrimmages and we were like, yeah, we're gonna be pretty good. And I've also left from scrimmages like, bruh, we need some work. We got our ass kicked.
Real talk. Damn show real talk, man. But yeah, well, there's a lot of folks that gotta show me something. I feel like boss showed me. I'm Henny show me. You gonna have to show me that you want this shit, man. And this is how I am, man. Like I do put expectations on people, but I also want them to prove it. Mm-hmm. Like I think Rebel can be good. Mm-hmm. I wasn't big on him coming out, but I see the athletic traits. But he got to actually do it. He got to show me that he's a faster Richard Sherman. Mm-hmm. Don't just tell me that he's a faster Richard Sherman. He got to put tape out there to show me, like, damn, you look a faster Richard Sherman. Mm-hmm. If he do it in the game, consistently, I'll say that. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's all I want. Just show me. Just show me that you're real. Show me that you're a real football player. Show me that you progress. Show me that you took the offseason seriously, and show me that your maturation as a player, is on track. That's all I ask for. Mm-hmm. But, Big, I appreciate you for taking time out of your busy schedule to hop on here with me, man.
I appreciate it. I love jumping on here, dog. I always have me on here as much as you want, especially on these Mondays, because especially after the Sunday games, that's going to be a Monday evening quarterback type thing. So I appreciate you, dog. I love talking with you, and can't wait till we talk again. Can't wait for this game this little scrimmage tomorrow as well.
Yes, indeed, man. But hey, I appreciate y'all. And we is out. I got some shit to do. I'm gonna holler at y'all good folks though. Holla, holla.